2013, a major question remains. Where are the women? Among Fortune 500 companies, just 21 have women at the helm. In Congress, fewer than 1 in 5 seats are held by women. And in her new book, Lean In, Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg asks what's missing in women's will to power.
I'm not suggesting women are ambitious. Plenty of women are as ambitious as men. But I am saying, and I want to say it unequivocally and unapologetically, that the data is clear that when it comes to ambition to lead, to be the leader of whatever you're doing, men, boys outnumber girls and women.
For more on this, I'm joined now by Angela Rye, political strategist and principal of Impact Strategies. Angela, Sheryl Sandberg says that women have a tendency to internalize all of the negative messages, and then they start to discriminate against themselves by not reaching out for opportunities. But is it really fair to suggest women themselves are to blame when you have rampant workplace discrimination and the appalling fact that a woman earns 77 cents for every dollar that a man makes? That's nothing to do with women, is it?
Well, Martin, it has a lot to do with equal opportunity, or the lack thereof, in this country. I think that when you just take a look at what's before the Supreme Court right now with the Fisher case and University of Texas, and the fact that affirmative action programs are absolutely on the line as being unconstitutional now, that is an open door that will be closed to students of color. So when you're talking about not only earning potential of women, or the fact that with Hillary Clinton in the 2008 election, she talked about shattering the glass ceiling. There's certainly an opportunity issue here, and part of it is not or doesn't have anything to do with women or their ability or their ambition. It has to do with access and an open door. If there's no open door, I guess we are to build one and then walk through that.
I guess.
But there are a lot of dynamics here, Martin.
Right. We all remember in 2008 when then Senator Obama told Hillary Clinton, "You're likable enough," and that touched a raw nerve for a lot of women. Take a listen to Sheryl Sandberg on this particular topic.
As women get more successful, they are less liked by men and women. As men get more successful, they are better liked. And so when we look at what happens, why more women don't lead, why we don't have a woman president, well, it's because you have to be liked to be promoted.
Now, Angela, that's a valid point, but Hillary Clinton left the State Department remarkably well-liked and well-respected round the world. So do you think this sexist dislike for women in power may in fact be changing following Mrs. Clinton's work at the State Department?
Well, I don't think it's just limited to Secretary Clinton's work at the State Department, but I do think that will certainly help. I think the likability factor applies to women and to men. I think what counts as a factor towards whether or not you're liked may be different. Is that fair? No, but I think it's the reality of the world. So what are we to do in changing that? Secretary Clinton went into the State Department, drilled down, focused on her mission, which was to ensure that the United States was well represented all over the world. And she focused on that with a laser focus. And I think that we have a lot to do in terms of ensuring that we're not only doing our work, but we are making sure that the decisions that we make, particularly as women leaders, not only impact people in a way that makes sense, but that the way in which we communicate them also makes sense. I think during the 2008 election, Secretary Clinton, then presidential candidate Clinton, had some other issues relative to the campaign that contributed to the likability factor.
Now, Angela, our show wouldn't exist without the smart contributions of women like yourself, without Karen Finney, Joy Reid, Crystal Ball, Marcia Dyson, the producer of this very segment, Nishi Perkinson. We don't have a broadcast, but what else can we do practically to improve work circumstances for women?
Well, first of all, thank you for that compliment. That's major. I appreciate it. But I think that we continue to have this kind of dialogue, Martin. We talk about the issues that impact working mothers, that, you know, for African-American women being the head of a household for some, and being a single mother. We talk about issues as it relates to women, as Sheryl Sandberg put it, who are trying to scale that corporate ladder and have other things they're thinking about, like maybe wanting to be married one day. But just having an open dialogue is certainly definitely the first step, and I think that you're doing a great job of that, Martin. So thank you.
Angela, you are, and we're grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, the gun violence debate from a slightly different perspective. But first, Hampton Pearson has the CNBC Market Wrap. Good afternoon, Hampton.
How you doing, Martin? Another day, another record close. The Dow adding 50 points, the S&P up 5, the NASDAQ up 8. That's it from CNBC, first in business worldwide.
This is the day your life will surely change.
CNBC Market Wrap is brought to you by TD Ameritrade.
At his current pace, Bob will retire when he's 153, which would be fine. Bob were